Yo, so what is going on, Retro Drip Pack family? I am your host, Aster the Hybrid Floof, owner of Retro Drip Pack Productions, welcoming you back to the channel. And get ready because we are diving pause first into a brand new, super duper important, probably going to be hilarious 5-part series. Now, what we are looking at is the Tuscan Challenge Professional League in Gran Turismo 3, where you have to use only one specific vehicle and all your other opponents are that same specific vehicle, which is the TVR Tuscan Speed 6. So, because I'm a professional-ish, we're going to break this down track by track. Think of it as my personal quest to prove that I am a Floofit hybrid that can actually drive, even if it's mostly by luck and sheer unadulterated yelling. First up, we're kicking things off with the legendary, infamous, utterly disorienting Trial Mountain Circuit Reverse. This track usually goes one way, right? Well, today we're doing it backwards. Get ready for me to get confused, hit walls I didn't even know existed, and probably question all my life choices. It's going to be a wild ride, literally. Next, we're heading to the dazzling city lights and tight corners of Special Stage Route 5. The urban jungle is going to test my precision, my reflexes, and my ability to not take out every single lamppost. Wish me luck, because I'm probably going to need a lot of it for those hairpin turns. After that, prepare yourselves for the historic, the picturesque, and the incredibly confusing Rome Circuit Reverse. We'll be zooming through ancient streets, but again, backwards. I'm pretty sure navigating Rome forward is hard enough, so this is going to be an adventure in comedic crashes and hopefully a little bit of actual racing. Then we are zipping over to the rain-slicked elevation changing and totally challenging Seattle circuit. This track is known for its intense ups and downs, its narrow sections, and its general ability to make me question if I even know how to hold a controller. Fingers or paws crossed, I don't go flying off the track. And to cap it all off, for the grand finale, we're hitting the absolute beast. That is the test course. This track is all about raw speed, massive straightaways, and the kind of G-forces that make your fur stand on end. Can I handle the sheer velocity, or will I just become a floofy blurt smeared across the digital asphalt? Only one way to find out. So buckle up, grab your snacks, and get ready for the Tuscan Challenge Professional League. This is going to be a journey of triumph, hilarious failures, and probably some epic screaming. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single floofy second of the action. Let's get the series started. Alright, so now that I got y'all familiarized with the 5 races that will be in the TVR Tuscan Challenge, now we are going to get to the racing. So our first race is, of course, going to be Trial Mountain Circuit Reverse, and as you can tell by the name, this is going to be the reverse circuit of the track, and also be giving you some information as well. So we're off to a great start so far, and here's some information about TVR that you may have not known. So the TVR company itself was an interesting, company for me to research about, mainly because a lot of their cars that are in the UK, because that's where TVR is, like their main headquarters, because it's in the UK, they have some lighter restrictions, and some of these restrictions wouldn't necessarily fly in the US. Like the TVR Speed 6, for example, the current car that I'm using, it lacks certain features like ABS, traction control, airbags, which is a major one, because if you did a crash safety test in America, I guarantee you it will fail. And that's why the Americans don't really want to import those type of cars here, because of the lack of safety features that this car needs to have in order to pass American road standards. But knowing Americans, it's like the road standards here can be just about anything. Like, you don't even need a separate license to drive a manual vehicle. Heck, you can even make a squatted truck and it still be road legal, which makes no sense to me whatsoever. So, yeah. Also, you may notice to the top right that this is a 10-lap race. Don't be afraid about that. I mean, sure, it gets boring, I guess. I mean, doing 10 laps on the same tracks would bore just about anyone. But it's really nothing compared to, like, the Formula GT Championship, which I will do at the very end of my Gran Turismo 3 series. I will do that race, those 10 races at the very end of the series, but I know I'm going to regret because those races consist of like 30 laps apiece, which means you're spending 30 minutes on the track for one race, maybe more. And then at the end of the, I think it's at the end where they introduce Côte d'Azur and it's 78 laps, which takes over an hour and 30 minutes to complete. Yeah, my brain is not going to function right after that. It's probably going to be scrambled like an egg. But back to the main track here. So I guess a cool thing about this track would be like the lake. If you go into free mode in Gran Turismo 4, I know I'm talking about Gran Turismo 4 when this is supposed to be a Gran Turismo 3 game. But if you go into Gran Turismo 4 and go into free camera mode, and if you zoom into the lake before you make that left turn, like when you're going down the hill, and you zoom in, you will see the Loch Ness Monster, which is an interesting Easter egg, especially since this is a Gran Turismo game. Also, after you come out the tunnel and do the first right turn and you look up on the tree, there's also a monkey there, or whatever type of animal it is. It's never really been confirmed by the Gran Turismo devs what that animal is, so I don't know what it is, but I really want to know because it's just cool. It makes it stand out, honestly, if you really think about it. Alright, so moving in our way to lap 3, I can tell that the tires really aren't affected, mainly because I chose the racing slick tires. If you're in Gran Turismo 3 and you want the best racing tires that won't wear out, I would go for the racing slick tires personally because those last a long time. Although there are some exceptions, like the Formula cars for the Formula GT Championship, you cannot use racing slicks. Like, the preset tires are medium, and even if you go into the dealership and try to switch out the tires, it doesn't have a price tag, which means they're not for sale in the game. So it basically means you are stuck with racing medium tires, and however fast you wear them is however fast you wear them. So you got to be very smart and strategic about what you do during that race. But everything is pretty scenic. I mean, you got the mountains, you got the tunnel, you got, well, actually 2 tunnels in this game. No, 3 actually, because the first tunnel is the one that has the long straightaway. The second one is built into the rock base, and the third one is like a curve, is built on the curve. Like, for front facing, it's on the left curve, but if you're doing the reverse track, it will be on the right curve. So that's something that, that's interesting to me, that really stands out. As well as this place being in Nevada. I don't know where Nevada is located, but it's located in some forest in Nevada. And as I said before, Nevada, when you think of Nevada, the first thing that comes to your mind isn't like, oh, it has a forest and stuff like that. No, you automatically think of Las Vegas. Don't lie to me. You automatically think of the Las Vegas City Life casinos, hotels, five-star spa resorts. Alright, we are almost to the halfway point. We are currently on lap 4 in this race, and judging by the looks, the pack is very far behind. I mean, am I surprised? No, not really, because I did max tune this car out, and you may be like, isn't that overpowered and isn't that considered a form of cheating? No, it's not considered a form of cheating. It literally said TVR Speed 6, and other than that, it didn't say like, for the tuning, it didn't say normal car tuning or anything like that. There's no restrictions on it, so I could tune it however I want. So mind your business. But everything seems to be going well. I mean, I haven't seen any cars do a pit stop so far, but that's probably going to change in the next couple of laps because knowing how most of these AI racers are, I know they probably have either racing medium or racing soft tires, and their tires wear out quickly because in Gran Turismo 3, the racing medium tires are like a good mixture of compound, is both easy to steer around in and a very sturdy tire. But when it comes to racing soft tires, the compound is more stickier to the ground, yes, which means you're going to be able to turn a lot easier, like how most race cars do. But the downside about that is that your tires are going to burn out quicker. Like, I've used racing soft tires in this race before. It didn't go too well because I had to make a pit stop like every 3 or 4 laps. And that's something that you don't want to do, especially in this type of race. And you know that the AI is basically using the same car that you're using, so that gives them plenty of chance to catch up with you. So I did learn my mistakes from that. That's why I suggested y'all use racing slick tires, so y'all won't have to really worry about that. I mean, sure, the turning is going to be terrible, but it's going to be worth it because you only have to do like one pit stop per race, maybe not even a pit stop at all, depending on what type of race it is. So yeah. Alright, so I know we are in the later half of lap 5 in this race, and I think I got a little bit carried away with all the information I'm giving. But lap 5, I don't know, maybe a pit stop or two happened. I really wasn't paying attention because I was just so in the zone. When recording this, I really didn't care. And if I had to make a pit stop, it wasn't going to be during lap 5 because that's the middle point. And my tires are still perfectly good. The only time you really got to worry about your tires if they start turning orange or full on red. That's when you should be worried because in Gran Turismo, your tires start off dark blue and then the color lightens. And the more light the color, the more traction the tire has lost. Therefore, you know, the more bald it has become. And if you get all the way down to red, let's just say you don't want to get all the way down to red because that means your tires are completely bald. You are more prone to spinning out during the race and a whole lot of other factors. So it's best if you do your tires right around like the light orange mark. I would say don't wait until it gets to like the dark orange mark or turns completely red because as I said, I've learned from my previous mistakes. It's not worth it. Okay, halfway through lap 6, nothing seeming out of the ordinary here. I mean, I am getting a little bit bored of doing the same track again and again, but that goes with any track in this game that goes over 5 laps. I mean, if you're the same person that's saying, oh, I like doing 30 lap races in the racing game, knowing that the race itself could take between 30 to 45 minutes, something's wrong with you. I'm gonna think there's something off with you. Like, you need to be evaluated, you need to be studied, you need to be confined, solitary confinement, put under the jail. Because there's no way that you're a normal human being saying that, oh, I like doing 30-minute races, I like doing endurance races that last over 4 hours. Like, something's off with you. Like, if you're doing it for a subathon or something like that, to gain views and stuff like that, I respect the hustle. I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to get in the way of anyone's bag, but if you're just doing it on your own free time instead actually enjoying it, something's off. But as you can see, we haven't made any sort of pit stop yet. We're doing pretty good for lap 7. I mean, we have had no issues so far. The cars are super far behind. As I stated before, this car is a fully tuned vehicle, so as I said, we really don't have to worry about these vehicles catching up with us anytime soon. And if I were to take a pit stop during lap 7, it really wouldn't affect me like how it would have if I did a pit stop way earlier in the race, because it gives me a little bit of leverage and time to keep away from the cars still. Also, for those of y'all that are wondering if this is scripted or not, no, I am solely doing this as a freestyle with no script whatsoever. So this is me being my authentic self, and so far I think I'm doing a pretty good job at it, honestly. I mean, it doesn't seem like I'm having any issues on my end with how I'm recording this. So, alright, moving into lap 8. I don't think we need a pit stop still. I think we're still doing just fine. I mean, looking at the footage, because this is a voiceover, so I'm doing the voice after the footage. So after me going over the footage, we're still not taking a pit stop. And as usual, the cars are still very far behind, so I'm not even mad about that. So, yeah. Alright guys, so this is lap 8 out of 10, so we are almost done with this race. I repeat, we are almost done with this race. We're going into the tunnel. That's probably one of my favorite parts of this track, this tunnel right here. But it has been changed recently in the Gran Turismo 7 series. Like, the tunnel has been extended to a longer version of it, so I don't know whether to be mad about that or not. Also, in Gran Turismo 7, they did remove the chicane out of Trial Mountain Circuit, so that's disappointing because I liked the Chicane personally, and you may be like, "Oh, why'd you like the Chicane?" Just to do that high jump off of that little patch of grass that's over there. Not too much, not too much, but honestly, I personally do like this track a lot. I mean, it's a perfect balance of scenery, what else? Dexterity, technicality, and that's pretty much all the big words that I can think about in my brain right now. Because nothing's really flowing through right now after doing this voiceover for 8 laps straight. Alright, ninth lap, glad you made it this far. Also, if you did make it this far, you might as well just subscribe to the channel and become a drifter. Because I'm trying to get this channel to 100 subs by the end of the year. I don't know if we're gonna reach that goal, but y'all know what to do, honestly. Y'all can help me out. But going into lap 9, I'm tired. I'm honestly tired of seeing this track. I feel like any sane person would be after seeing this track for the 9th time, but we gotta prevail and do one more lap of this track. So I will meet y'all guys at the 10th lap. Right, final lap. I'm glad, honestly. As I said before, I'm tired of seeing this track. I'm tired of everything. I'm tired of driving this car. I just don't know. It just gets pretty boring when you're doing the same track for 10 laps in a row. But as I said, we prevailed, and we're gonna show these AI people who's the boss, because honestly it's gonna be me, because I have the most overpowered vehicle right now. And I will see y'all at the end of the race to show y'all the final results of part 1 of this TVR Tuscan challenge. So meet me over there. And as you can see, no issues whatsoever during this race, and we finished first in the podium, so that automatically gains us 10 points. But anyways, I have been your fluffy host, Aster the Hybrid Floof, owner of Retro Drip Pad Productions, and all I can say is I'm tired, but this was definitely worth doing all this editing and voiceovers and stuff like that. I really enjoy doing these voiceovers. But anyways, I will see you on the next one. So remember, keep on drifting, stay safe, and keep being you, honestly, because only you can be you. You know yourself better than anyone else. But anyways, bye!